Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of His and Hers. We're going to be doing a little bit something different today, though. It's just going to be his today. Okay, so it's Father Figure Fridays. We're going to be doing a video like this every once in a while, maybe once or twice a week. You guys let us know what you guys think about it. But I'm gonna be, shooting these videos and giving you guys some fatherly advice, right? Some advice that I've kind of learned through the years from all my backgrounds, and we'll break into it here in a little bit. But hopefully, the main purpose is to give you guys some of my experience and some of my advice, so that way you guys can gain these values that will help you in the pursuit of the truth. Because that's what the key is, guys. All these values that, whether it's the men's values or the women's values, they're all for a purpose. And I think the main thing that most people lack nowadays is purpose. But also, we've been masked, the matrix, right? We've been masked and told the lies as far as what that purpose is supposed to be, right? Whether that's for sex, whether that's just to get fame or money to buy a nice car or buy a nice house. At the end of the day, it's all about just getting the truth, right? And that's really what makes you happy and fulfilled. But real quick, before I get into it, guys, right, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do us a huge solid and subscribe to the channel, right? I know there's a bunch of shadow watchers out there still, so please subscribe. If you guys have reacted or commented or even watched some of our videos more than once, definitely subscribe and help us, push this channel out there, push the truth out there. Smash that like button as well, right? Give us a free like, right? Make sure that we're getting pushed out there. I'm sure we're getting suppressed out there because we're revealing the truth and talking about RP type of topics. Turn on your notification bell. Check out our channel over at TikTok at His&Hers YT, right? And comment, guys. Comment. We'll love every comment. We like reacting to all your guys' comments in future videos. So negative or positive comments, we really appreciate it. And then, of course, share, right? Share to your friends, family, just people who are obviously, looking for help, advice, because the truth really will set you free, right? The truth will give you better outcomes. And that's the key, guys. It's all about outcomes. We can sit here and all lie to ourselves and talk about feelings, right? We live in a day and age now where feelings is more important than outcomes. No BS, right? No cap. Everybody wants to feel good versus actually having real outcomes, right? Whether that's, I feel like a boss, babe, or I feel like a king, or I'm being told that I'm good even though I'm not, right? I have nothing in the real world to show that I'm doing well, but I'm being told that just being quote unquote low value is doing well, right? And we all know that that only works so long before you look at your reality, and your reality tells you that you're not happy. And that's why we're dealing with depression, mental illness, right? This whole buzzword now about men's mental fitness, right? All these type of buzzwords try to get you guys to feel better about yourself, when the reality is really you just need to work on these values. Bust your butt, know what the purpose of these values are for, and get working on them. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And the first one I'm going to talk about is fitness. Okay, the men's value of fitness, right? I think in this day and age, this value is so forgotten, right? Because we talk about money so much nowadays. We talk about, getting status and fame. Because why? Because of the big lie, right? Those things, if you have money, if you have status or fame, it gets you sex, right? It gets you bitches. And that's what, unfortunately, the Matrix has tried to get you guys out there. And I'm speaking to all my brothers out there. So this is going to be kind of a talk about men's towards, obviously you guys out there to improve your men's values. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to get you guys to focus on that aspect and not realize that, no, these values are technically for the purpose of the truth, which is getting your wife, right? Marriage, commitment, obviously having kids, and obviously having the best outcome for your kids, okay? So let's talk about fitness. And real quick, why am I a person, I guess, that can speak on this subject? So I'll give you guys a little background about me before I get into it. I was a former bodybuilder, competed in my youth, late teens, 18 to 22 is, I think, was when my last competition was. I did really well during my teenage years. I placed first in one of my local contests, and then from there I qualified as a 20-year-old, I believe, at the time. So not a fully 21 yet, but I qualified for the regional qualifier, which was the Ironman Invitational. Against some older dudes that had been doing it for a long time, for years. Knew how to diet, knew how to pose. Obviously taking substance abuse as well, taking steroids. And I'll get into that in a second real quick, my thoughts on it. But yeah, no, I placed fourth in that competition as a youth, even though I was competing against men. I just got blessed. I was really, my genetics were really good. But one thing I want to talk about is the mindset that working out and what bodybuilding, or just in general, just getting in shape, gives to you guys, right? And that benefits you. And that's the key, is as much as your body will get better, as much as you'll get physically stronger, more capable, and you'll physically feel better, it's the mental aspect that is going to be the key. And we'll talk about it a little bit here later in the video, as far as how that mental strength will actually help you in all the other values, from finance to fame, your family life, everything else in your life, how it'll greatly benefit you. But real quick, guys, let's talk about the whole steroid substance abuse. We live in a day and age now that, I'll be honest with you guys, if you guys have gone to the gym or gone working out, everyone thinks that there has to be some type of supplement usage to get stronger or bigger or better. I'm telling you guys right now, no, there isn't. It's literally about working hard, busting your butt, going to the gym every day, and sticking with a routine and learning a routine that works. Now, everybody's going to be a little bit different this, so I'm going to be very generalized in terms of my advice to you guys in terms of how to get results. But like I said, you don't need it. Now, can you get an advantage by doing it? 100%. I stopped competing for that reason, because at a certain point, there's no way you can compete if you don't, obviously play on the same level field. But in terms of getting big, getting strong, for the majority of people out there, the shape, the high quality shape that you can get in, you don't need drugs to do it. You don't even need really supplements to do it. Just eating healthy, sleeping right, working out is all you need. Consistency, and obviously busting your butt, okay? But before we get into kind of some basic things in terms of physicality, let's talk about the mindset. And this is where it's super important. For any of you young guys out there, even young teenagers that are starting to, get into working out, one of the sources I can definitely recommend to you guys is the Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I get it. Those old school bodybuilders, they use drugs as well too. So I get it. I'm not promoting that aspect. But there's a great piece in that book about where Arnold talks about the mindset, where he was in the army and he was working on tanks as a member of a tank battalion in the army, and he would wake up every morning and he would store the weights inside the tank, the compartments in the tank, and he would wake up every morning and work out with his buddy before they had to go do their exercises or maneuvers. So the point is the mindset, guys. You guys got to have this passion of actually wanting to improve. And that's the first step, right? The first step is admitting that we need to fix a problem. The first step is saying, hey, I'm out of shape. I need to get better. I need to improve. And obviously taking the initiative to do that, right? Go check out one of our old videos, guys. We talk about time, TIEM. Right. And in that video, the first thing we talk about was obviously you got to take that initiative to recognize a problem. Right. And then after that, everything else comes into play, because if you keep on lying to yourself that I'm in good shape, if you continue listening to the matrix, right, telling you that, oh, you're okay who you are, and and you're fine the way you are, you're never going to improve. So the mind has to go first. It has to make that flip, because that's what's going to push your body to actually get better. The mind always fails before your body. 100%. I don't know you guys out there that's worked out, or if you guys have gone to the gym and you've seen people that goes to the gym and, they just do a few sets and they're like, oh my God, I'm so tired already, right? Or you'll see them exercise and they'll be like, oh, I just do, 10 reps every single time, and it doesn't matter what the weight is. I might be lifting light, but I'll just do this, or I'll just walk on the freaking treadmill, right? These people never improve. Right? Because their mind has already given up. Their mind doesn't want to improve. They think it's good enough, right? Just by going, as long as I go to the gym every day and I just take a few, 30-minute walk on the treadmill, or I do, 10 push-ups for sets of 3, I'll be good enough. No, you won't. Your body is only going to change if your mind is willing to push yourself past the point of where you want to actually, quit, right? You have to be able to say, hey, I want to quit. My body is hurting. I'm tired, right? I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling sick. I want to throw up. But you continue to push past that point. And see, and this is the thing that no one wants to acknowledge, right? The majority of people don't want to acknowledge. Oh, these guys, they just take steroids and that's how they're getting better. Or, oh no, they have better genetics than me and that's why they're getting better. The truth of the matter is, even the guys that do these enhancement drugs, cheating if you want to call it, they still have this mindset to push past this point of wanting to fail. And that's the key, guys, is being able to be mentally strong and working your mental strength more than your physical strength to get past this point, right? So motivating yourself and learn how to harness that mental energy, right? So that way you can push yourself past that point. Now, real quick, I don't want to segue away from the value of fitness, but think about it, guys. If you're able to mentally control yourself to push past certain barriers, what do you think is going to happen when it comes time to having to work 15 hours a day? Or when it comes time to, have to prepare for a meeting and you're scared that, you have to talk in front of a bunch of people. Or, hey, I have all these bills to do and, I'm kind of scared to freaking face these challenges and face these bills, or face, potential investment that, that might not return money, and I'm scared. Do you think that if your mind is strong, right, if you conditioned your mind to be strong through this working out and everything like that, you don't think that's going to translate to those situations as well? It 100% translates to the situation. And this is the cool thing about fitness, guys, and with the way that you can harness this mental strength, right? You don't need money to do this. Right? You guys can go out there. We talk about this all the time on the channel. You can go out there and start doing push-ups, go out there and jog out in the street for free, do pull-ups on a freaking, go to a playground, do pull-ups, do, sit-ups, do dips. You don't need a gym membership to do this, I'll tell you guys, one time when I was in really good shape years ago, when I was on the road traveling a lot for my other companies, all I did was I made a routine for myself where I would literally do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 handstand push-ups. In essence, just kind of do a calisthenics program. And I did 3 sets of that every morning to failure. And obviously, if I could do more than 100, I would, right? It's like I said, breaking past this barrier of I can only do so much, right? So you got to train your mind first before your body will actually get those results, right? Now, some more basic stuff. The best way to get into the best shape is, obviously, you want to do this fast. You don't want to waste time, right? Time is so important. So getting a gym membership obviously helps, because now you have the free weights, right? You can use, you actually have weights that you can go up in weight instead of just using your own body weight. You obviously have other machines that you can use so that way you can hit certain body parts. But the truth of the matter is, if you're just starting out, you want to do the basic compound exercises, okay? So squats, deadlifts, benching, pull-ups, those type of exercises where you're targeting more than one muscle group. So for example, yes, when you bench, you're working your chest muscle primarily, but your shoulders also come into play. Your triceps also come into play, right? Your core comes into play too, because without a strong foundation, you're never going to be able to bench as much, right? Your feet is planted on the ground, right, with proper form. So you're actually kind of like pushing off with your feet as well too. Deadlifts, right? You're lifting with your legs, your back, your arms. It's not just like, a strict bicep curl where, for example, where maybe you're just targeting just your biceps. The fastest result is going to be using these compound exercises. And then, of course, working up to a weight as heavy as possible that you can do the form correctly. And that's the key, guys, is there's a powerlifting way to lift, like where you're trying to lift the most weight possible. And of course, there's a bodybuilding way to lift that's going to build you the most muscle. Now, I get it. Some of you guys want to work on strength. Some of you guys want to be like, hey, I want to be able to lift this much weight, right? But let's be honest. The majority of you guys want out there, you guys want to physically look better, right? You want to physically have a six-pack abs, have a V-taper, have a big chest, right? Have big arms, right? The only way you're going to do that is if you can focus that stress, that muscle tension, right, on the specific muscle that you're trying to target. So the key is you got to learn how to get the form correctly. And then, of course, lift the most weight that you can with that form. If you're not lifting correctly and you're literally just throwing the weight up, yes, honestly, one, it doesn't look cool at the gym. People are going to be staring at you and be like, what the hell are you doing? But two, it's not going to get you the results that you want. You're not going to get the bigger muscle that you're trying to target. Okay. So you want to focus on getting the correct form. Now, if that means having to go, get a personal trainer to teach you the right form, and obviously, working out, getting the right form, do it. Don't feel bad going to the gym. It's not an ego battle. This is a competition against yourself. It's not a competition against other people at first, right? If you're just a beginner getting into the gym, if you're a young kid and you're taking my advice and you want to get better and get more muscles and get in shape, work on your form so that way you know how the muscle feels. It's that whole weight to muscle, right? That whole muscle dynamic tension, that you have that muscle to mind connection is what they call it. So that way your muscle actually builds. And then from there, once you get more experience, you can lift more weights. But don't feel bad going to the gym and just lifting 10 pounds, lifting 15 pounds, right? Going to the gym and maybe just benching the bar. We all got to start somewhere, right? The worst thing I see is when you go to the gym and you just want to have an ego, but you're not doing it right. So you're going to look like a fool anyways. So don't do that, guys, okay? But to end this video, guys, I didn't talk too much about, the routines. If you guys have questions out there, definitely comment, and I can obviously answer a little bit more specifics for you. But once again, I really want to focus on that mindset, okay? The mindset of how to get in shape is what's going to carry on for the rest of your life, and then you're going to be able to apply to all the other values, your finance and your fame, right? And then on top of that too, just the whole mental illness, the mental stress, the whole thing today's day and age where we're saying, men are more depressed. That's what's really going to combat that whole issue first and foremost. Okay, guys. But hey, I appreciate you guys joining me for this very first video where we kind of did a different topic. I'll see you guys on the next one. Talk to you later.